Hey, this is Katie with Following the Funks. I am back again this week and I'm going to share with you about Demre, Turkey, otherwise known as the home of Santa Claus. It's a warm day out, isn't it? Last summer, Jason, Sophia, and I spent 3 weeks in this little town called Kalkan in Turkey. It is on the Mediterranean coast, and about an hour and 15-minute drive east of this little town is a town called Demre. It's not very popular for being a summer vacay. It's actually more known for its agricultural setting. There are tons and tons of greenhouses that produce vegetables and fruit all year round. They do have a few beaches and a few ancient sites along that way, but it's not normally a place that people vacation to. But it is a great day trip if you are in the Kalkan Kosh area. So like I mentioned, Demre is actually known as the home to Santa Claus. And what's really funny is that when you think of Santa Claus, you actually think of this mythical person who comes at night and sweeps down your chimney and gives you toys when you're sleeping. It's like a tool that parents use to make their kids behave all year round, or at least maybe during the holiday season. But Santa Claus is actually based on an actual person called Saint Nicholas, who was the Bishop of Patara. Patara is a little town that is close to Kalkan, where we were staying. Saint Nicholas actually was born in Patara. He grew up in that area, became a bishop, and served as a Christian in the churches in this area of Myra back in the 4th century AD. He is most well known for his generosity and giving nature to the poor to provide for those who are in need. One of his most well-known stories, which you can read about in my blog post, is the one that has kind of shifted everything and created the Santa Claus that we know of today. So while I said Demre is known for being the home of Santa Claus, it's not just about Santa Claus. So there's going to be other sites that you're going to want to see on your visit to Demre, and I'm going to share those with you. The first place you're going to want to visit is Noel Baba Musesi, which is also known as Father Christmas Museum. Some people also like to call this St. Nicholas's Church or Noel Baba Church, Kilisisi. It has a lot of names because it is a church, but it is declared to be a museum. This church itself was built in the 11th century in the Byzantine architecture and served as a church for a very long time until some really bad flooding when it came into some disrepair. And then in 1862, the Russian Tsar of the time actually had it restored. The church continued to function as most likely a Russian Orthodox church and then a Greek Orthodox church, an Orthodox church in the sense, until the Great Exchange of 1923, where the Turks and the Greeks were sent back to their home countries when the Turkish Republic was founded. The church is regarded as the third most important Byzantine structure in the Anatolia region, and because of its amazing architecture, it has made it onto the list of UNESCO Tentative Heritage Site. Inside, you're going to see mosaics on the floor, 5 frescoes on the walls and archways, and even a broken sarcophagus, which is believed to be the first burial site of St. Nicholas. It is said that his remains were most likely taken to Italy and then perhaps settled in Venice in the 11th century. Because the church is also a museum, there is a museum cafe there and shop, and then outside of that region in the downtown area of Demre, you can find lots of little touristy shops to buy your trinkets to remember your visit to the St. Nicholas or Santa Claus church, whichever one you want to call it. Visiting this museum is 50 TL or Turkish lira, but if you have a museum card like us as a Turkish resident, then that also grants you access into this museum. Moving on outside of Santa Claus's church, just 2 kilometers inland and a little bit up a hill, you're going to find the ancient city of Myra. This is going to be the second thing that you're going to want to see in the city of Demre. It is super easy to get to. You just drive right up and then you walk through the one little aisle of little shops. Get your ticket, which is 45 Turkish lira, or like I've said before, if you have your museum card, then it is included in your museum card passes. And then you walk right into the ancient area. It's not a huge area, but there are two pretty remarkable things about this site that sets it apart from a lot of the others. One is the rock tombs that are set into the side of the hill. If you can imagine these tombs once being painted in vibrant colors of red, green, yellows, depicting the life of the persons and families maybe in this tomb, then you can just imagine the whole side of this hillside just being a sight to see. You can't actually go into the tombs, but you can peer into some of the ones that are closer to the ground. The second thing that's at this site that you're going to want to see is the huge theater that once held thousands of people. You can climb all over, be able to see from the top, but also explore down to the bottom where the plays would have been shown. Nose, mouth, eyes, hair, the mouth. Where's the mouth? The mouth is open. Mouth. Ah!
Can you give him a kiss?
Can you give it a kiss? The third site you're going to want to see is the Andriake port, or ancient city of Andriake. It was once believed that this could have been a separate city from Myra, but now they believe that it was just the port area to the city of Myra. So they all connected. It's 5 kilometers or 3 miles west of Demre. For 12.5 lira or your museum card, you can visit the Andriake ruins. The Lycian Civilization Museum is another 10 Turkish lira, or your museum card covers that as well. Demre River gives life to the city, and sadly, along with Arab raids and natural disasters, it also brought the end to the city as the river dried up. The ruins include a harbor, baths, churches, synagogues, one of those synagogues being 1,500 years old. At the end of the long one-way walking path, there's the Lycian Civilization Museum. It's built on a former granary back in 129 AD. The museum displays excavation and artifacts from each of the major Lycian cities, so Myra, Patara, Xanthos, Telos, Pinara, Olympus, Arconda, and Antiphilios, which made up the Lycian League. So each hall has its own collection from each one of these cities, and it's named after the city that it came from. The Lycian cities mentioned, it gives us clues about the religious beliefs, the economy structure, and the social lives from each one of these areas. While we didn't have time, there are several beaches that you can visit around this city, and as well there are some restaurant recommendations. Again, I have written a blog post to match this video, so you can just click on that website link and you can see additional information that maybe I didn't mention on this video. So there you have it. That was our visit to Demre. We did go in the middle of summer and it was so hot, but it was well worth taking a day trip over to see Santa Claus's church or St. Nicholas's church, to see the ancient cities of Myra, and then also to see Andriake ruins. If you have been to Demre and visited St. Nicholas's church, I would love to hear from you. If you have any tips or tricks for visiting this area, if we have missed anything as well, did you learn anything new? I always love hearing from you. I have a few more videos coming on Kalkan, but in the meantime, you should check back to some of our past videos that share a little bit about our summer travels in Kalkan. I hate that I'm having to do these a year later, but I hope that someone out there can still find this information as just as helpful, because not too much has changed when it comes to ancient ruins. As always, I hope you have a great week and I will see you next time. Bye!